Welcome to the Talladega Super Speedway for the second to last race of the Mountain Dew Custom Series season, the Vornado 150 from Talladega. Hi everyone, and we are live here at the biggest super speedway on the circuit with your two of your three championship contenders, Jake Galloway and Colton Layne, starting on the front row. Last time out at Gateway, it was Colton Layne being spun off the nose of teammate Austin Johnson that made Colton now have an 8-point gap to Austin and only be 1 point ahead of Jake Galloway. The way this looks right now, as they run, they could have probably been tied heading into Kansas, or roughly about 1 to 2 points if they finish first, second, and 10th like they're starting today at Talladega. It's sure to be an action-packed race, 19 laps around the Great Super Speedway, hitting speeds of upwards of 190 miles per hour. Let's go down trackside for the commands to fire the engines at Talladega.
Drivers, start your engines!
With that, the 35 engines roar to life here at the Talladega Super Speedway. The biggest and fastest track on the schedule. Speeds will reach over 190 miles an hour for all 19 laps here under green. Hopefully we will be able to see a green flag race, because that would be pretty interesting to see the Super Speedway. And if you think back to the last Super Speedway, the Crown Royal, or not the Crown Royal 300, the Valvoline 200 at Daytona, Jake Galloway almost won that race. Jesse Turner came off of the corner on the outside, had the momentum, blew past Jake Galloway, and Jake lost that race. Now Jake is looking for redemption. The other thing about wins, though, Anderson Reed, he's 26 points back. He needs all three of those drivers, the 3, the 14, and the 48, to get out of that top 10, get out of the top 20 even. Reed is 26 back. It's doable here at Talladega. It is not doable at Kansas. Reed also has 3 career wins. The number 3 behind him, Austin Johnson, 3 career wins in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Both of these drivers are looking to be the first ones to tie Diego Yepes's Mountain Dew Custom Series wins total of 4 in 2 seasons. The thing is, though, Reed and Johnson have not ran 2 full seasons in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Johnson will be starting his 2nd full season next season. Anderson Reed is moving up to trucks, but he will be running some select Mountain Dew Custom Series races. That's going to be the interesting thing. The point situation, though, is the big thing. Jake Galloway, after last week, we thought he was going to be out of it. He was dropping back. It's been a mid-season slump, but now he's coming back strong. 9 points behind Colton Layne, who was sent spinning off of the bumper of Austin Johnson at Gateway. Those two teammates had that meeting on Monday, and there was some words exchanged after the race, but they calmed themselves down. The thing is, though, will Austin Johnson or Colton Layne work together to get to the front? That is going to be interesting to see, and especially heading into Kansas if those two are still fighting for the championship. Jake Galloway in this 48. He is the Texas Star Racing driver looking for it all. The Jones Racing Inc. guys are trying to pull away and keep this championship to themselves. Reed and Benyako trying to get up there. They are 26 and 31 points back respectively. They need to get up there past these 3 and gain some points for Kansas. But everyone else behind them are just racing for the glory now. Coming down to take the green flag. We're racing at the Vornado 150 at the Talladega Super Speedway. We saw early there, Anderson Reed got shuffled out. Now Murray's shuffled out. Colton Layne and J.J. Roberts are making some contact. Now they are 4 wide already into turn number 3, and that almost could have taken out Colton Layne and Austin Johnson right there. Benyako now right on the back bumper of Jake Galloway coming off of the corner. It also is something to note right behind Strigley. You see the 28, the 2, and the 0. They were a bit slower on that restart, and already we're starting to see a sort of a pack form. But Colton Layne from 2nd all the way to 7th on lap number 1. Oh, 35 cars rushing down into turn 1. Now we're getting up to speed, but it is Jake Galloway out in front. The 2 Fords, 3 Fords, Alex Benyako, Matthew Brown, and DJ Curtis on the bottom line working together. You see further back a bunch of drivers trying to find those lanes, trying to find where they're going to be heading into these corners. Now Alex Benyako pulling ahead of the 01. Colton Layne, Austin Johnson, both shoved all the way to the outside line and starting to shuffle back with Anderson Reed, but Alex Benyako pulling on up. The thing is, Galloway isn't as bad of a contender as maybe Layne or that number 3 of Austin Johnson. Galloway is 9 points behind Johnson, meaning that Anderson Reed is only 17 points back. Benyako still another 22 points back. But Benyako, he has a fast car. Remember, though, last season at Kansas, it was the 53 of DJ Gibson in control of the race and on his way to his championship, where the engine blew in the final closing laps. He lost it, and Tip Foster gained the title. Now this is going to be an important race. This is the first season Talladega is the race right before Kansas, and we have a 2-week break after this for these championship drivers to wonder what they are going to be doing for Kansas. Will Jake Galloway, if he could stay up front, lead all 19 laps and win this race while the 14 and 3 struggle or even crash, will he be able to spend this entire next week happy, rejoicing, and just partying it up with Texas Star Racing? Or will he be the one behind, still chasing down the JRI drivers like he has been this season? Coming around 4 laps through this race, top 4 starting to get single file out, trying to pull away. You got Brown, Benyako, and Silas leading that charge. CFRO has Dusty Neal and the road course ringer Joseph Strigley right there. Now Matthew Brown dives to the inside. Alex Benyako trying to go with him. Do they have the draft to pull around Jake Galloway? Dusty Neal in the 97 now is on the inside, but Matthew Brown going for the race lead for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, the team that has not won in over a year in the Mountain Dew Custom Series or the Crown Royal Truck Series. The defending RBSTS champions with Matthew Brown, and Brown is now trying to show that he's good out in front, 4 wide further back. Dusty Neal was close to making it 4 wide. Benyako was trying to stay off of Galloway, which is a great thing between those two competitors, and they're going to remain up front. Bradley and Goforth getting real close together as well. Galloway dethroned from the race lead. Now you see Colton Layne in that 14, Austin Johnson in the 3, working their way back to the inside. And this pack, all 35 still close together, but when will they break? These guys will go 3 and 4 wide. They will be aggressive. Colton Layne might be going 4 wide here with Alex Peters. JJ Roberts real close into the corner. They make contact. Push it up the track. Now they're 4 wide, 2 rows deep with Bradley and Silas on the very outside. And now Layne and Johnson right together. What will they do after last time at Gateway? Nothing there. They're still looking at the bigger picture. Benyako really starting to rough up Galloway now. Look at Strigley. Alex Peters in the 11 blows up and is going to hold up Austin Johnson. That'll cost him big time. And that might hold him from the second pack. He's going to be stuck in the second pack. Look how far already he is behind. That could cost him. Layne and Galloway now up front. This could be a decision of whoever is ahead between Galloway and Layne at the end of this race. Could be the drivers going for the championship or leading the points coming out of this. Roberts is real close to the 14 again. Now Roberts makes some contact with Goforth. Roberts goes around into the wall, back down, in front, into the 0, the 78, and they're all crashing here at Talladega. Stephen Wallace Jr., Zachary Fitzwater, Mathis Wells, Camden Luca, William Duncan are in it. That was too close for Austin Johnson, and Colton Layne and Galloway make through it. All of your championship contenders get through that one. JJ Roberts was really being aggressive. You saw him up on Colton Layne about 5 times that race. There you see the 11 damage, the 0-0 of Luke Rainey, done. Zachary Fitzwater as well. William Duncan, heartbreak there with damage. Mathis Wells making only his 3rd start this season. He's out of this one. But the big one, or at least the first of the big ones, happens here at Talladega. And Matthew Brown, what a job he's been doing up front right now, leading in this race as they go. Fantastic for them. JJ Roberts, though, that will be the nail in the coffin for his championship hopes. And Luke Rainey as well came from all the way back in 22nd in points, and he got up to 8th in these last few races. So a great run at the end of the season for Rainey, as he will move to Toyota Racing Development next season. Stack-ups in the back of the pack are going to damage some cars. It looks like Bobo Jones in the 47. You also got the 0 of Matt Sladek damage, so that's That's two big hitters, as well as the 8 of TJ Hanley, but I think he had damage from the crash earlier. Stephen Wallace Jr. had crash from the damage, or damage from the crash, I should say. And it's Matthew Brown out in front at Talladega. The first big one today, with J.J. Roberts being the driver in it, brings us to our first caution of the race here in the Vornado 150 at Talladega. And what happened here was J.J. Roberts just getting aggressive once again, goes 4 wide with Layne and Goforth and Galloway. Third 9 comes down the track into the 2, and he's going to be sent spinning. Jesse Turner's going to get a bit of a piece of that, gets through it, but a heavy hit for the 00. The 78 of Mathis Wells, heartbreak for him, and Zachary Fitzwater had a large hit as well. Out the back bumper of Colton Layne. You see how close that 39 was? And they just hooked coming into the corner, and through the corner, J.J. Roberts going around in what is his second to last career race. Another angle of this, a bit wider out. You just see he gets hooked by Goforth, spins up to the wall. Turner, a great job making his way mostly through it, but a heavy hit for the 00 and the 78, and a crash behind them. But William Duncan sliding around up here, hits the number 0. Camden Luke also gets a piece of it, and you see the 47 spin as well. So we'll take you guys to our commercial break. Coming back around, we'll be taking the 1 to go this time at the line. It is Matthew Brown in the race lead with Joseph Strigley up in second, Eric Monaco third, Colton Layne fourth, and Benyako fifth. Neil Galloway, Goforth, Reed, and the 19 of Mark Silas rounding out our top 10. Austin Johnson sits 11th. That is still pretty far behind both Layne and Galloway. He would be losing some spots. You got DJ Curtis, Logan Bradley. Look at Irving Allison, who's fought from the back. And your last Super Speedway winner, Jesse Turner, in that 43. Bunch of damaged cars out of this one. You see at the back, Stephen Wallace Jr., Luca, Hanley, and Bobo Jones, as well as Casey Mears, all got damage in incidents during that caution. There at the back of this pack, but Matt Sladek retired, as well as Ethan Head, J.J. Roberts, Alex Peters, William Duncan, Luke Rainey, Mathis Wells, and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. We will be going back racing with 9 to go. Matthew Brown for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports. What a story it would be to see this team back on top. As we said, the last time they won in the Mountain Dew Custom Series was Ryan Butcher back in season number 2. The last time they won all together in any of the top 2 NSDCA series was Ryan Butcher last season at Bristol, all the way back as the 4th race of the season. So it has been over a year since Butcher Gatorade Motorsports has seen a top series victory lane. They are in the lead. But Cloud Foster Racing Operations, Joseph Strigley, what a story that would be for this road course ringer who grew up in open wheel racing, came over to the NSDCA. He is up in the 2nd position. Right now would be that's a story in itself, but if he could win, that'd be amazing. This team won the Crown Royal Truck Series Crown Royal 300 with Logan Bradley, and Joseph Strigley trying to do the same thing. And Smart Motorsports is number 02. They sit 3rd. However, you got 2 drivers looking for a championship. Colton Layne, 2nd in points, coming into this 8 points back. Benyako, 5th in points, 31 back with 2 wins. Coming on down, Matthew Brown, Joseph Strigley, Eric Monaco, 3 unlikely drivers for the front 3, leading us down. We're coming down now to 9 to go at Talladega. Green flag is back in the air. Jake Galloway looking to the outside on Dusty Neal. That is an interesting strategy as they go in, but Neal did get a pretty poor restart. Hopefully Galloway will be able to get himself back down before the rest of that pack contends or converges back up on him. There you see Cody Goforth in the 2. He had a little bit of damage from that. Got together with J.J. Roberts, but it's fine. Colton Layne now dives to the inside. Alex Benyako with him. You see Austin Johnson in that 3, but he has no help. Benyako right on the back bumper of the 14. It's surprising they didn't hit each other. Now Galloway looks to the inside. Eric Monaco with a move on Joseph Strigley. Galloway back up to the 6th spot. The championship contenders are right here at Talladega with the underdogs, as you see Eric Monaco in this 02 up to 2nd. 1 career win in the Red Bull Short Track Showdown last season and nothing else. Logan Bradley in the 94. Slow. He's down pit road. Problems on the 94, and his day will be over with. Now Colton Layne on the inside. Jake Galloway looks even lower. Single file further back. Of course, now that this was a caution, this pack is going to take a bit of time to form back up into that wild 2 to 3 wide racing. But Layne and Galloway working together. Maybe they're trying to work together instead of with Austin Johnson so they could get back up in that championship hunt and make sure it's close coming into Kansas, but Colton Layne, if Layne wins, Galloway loses another 3 points on him. I don't think Jake wants to give him that much of a push, but the two big contenders, the two of the big three to the race lead here at Talladega in the closing laps. You see Strigley is still there. Cody Goforth, even Mark Silas is here. Austin Johnson trying any spot he can to get around. And Layne now has Galloway on the inside of him. Across the line they go. Colton Layne leads that lap. That's a bonus point. That nullifies Galloway's first lap led earlier on in this race. Austin Johnson, though, has not led a lap, so both of these guys have that extra bonus point over the number 3, but Austin Johnson is coming. Irving Allison, DJ Curtis further back. You got Brown on the outside. Reed almost cut off Jesse Turner. That could have been big. You see this pack right there. Nicky Morris leading at the end with Damian Blue, Rose, and Collins just barely hanging on. Matheson and Smart as well. 2x2 up front, 3 wide further back, and Layne versus Galloway is a 2x2 showdown here at Talladega. Outside line starting to fizzle. You have Austin Murray disrupting that further back there. Now Austin Johnson jumps to the inside with DJ Curtis. Cody Goforth in the 2, shoved to the middle. Jake Galloway back to the race lead. Ben Yacko in the 53 right here. Galloway looking for a record-setting 3rd win in the Mountain Dew Custom Series this season, as well as Austin Johnson. Johnson up the track! Real close with Cody Goforth. That could have been championship ending there if he was to wreck with Cody. Now Irving Allison, look at him fighting in the top 10, losing momentum on the inside line with no draft, but what a run he's having right now. Jesse Turner in the 43 trying to get up there and help, but you also got Dusty Neal and Austin Murray close to getting together into the corner. Joseph Strigley shoved all the way back. Galloway out in front, Ben Yacko and Layne, 2nd and 3rd. Eric Monaco in the 4th position. What a run for Smart Motorsports today. DJ Curtis up in 5th. You also have that 44 of Anderson Reed on the inside now. Can Reed make his record-tying 4th career victory in the Mountain Dew Custom Series? Dusty Neal down to the inside on Irving Allison, Austin Murray. Not going to happen. He didn't have the draft. Austin Johnson shoved back up. This right now as they run, Jake Galloway would enter Kansas in the points lead. Colton Layne would be ahead of Austin Johnson. But as they run right now, it wouldn't be by much. Galloway would have, as they run, if Colton Layne was 2nd, Galloway would only have a 4-point advantage, or a 3-point advantage over Colton Layne. Further back, Austin Johnson, he would still only be 2 points back. That would be the closest ever we've seen it entering a championship race. Irving Allison in that 83 is looking for a race win. You got Matthew Brown as well. Shade Burkhart Racing has not won in the Mountain Dew Custom Series since Aiden and Blake a few seasons ago. You also have Matthew Brown for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports never having a win in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Colton Layne shoved to the outside. Austin Johnson in the middle. This is Jake Galloway's chance if he can hang on and win this race. But you have one of the best restrictor plate drivers and greatest big track drivers right behind him. That is the 44 of Anderson Reed. Dusty Neal going up the track. Can Reed have the momentum, get around Galloway, and throw himself just a little bit closer in the championship hunt? Even if Reed finished here, he would be in mathematically into the championship hunt. Alex Ben Yacko as well, but again, Ben Yacko really needs to win this race and hope that the other guys drop back, even Anderson Reed as well, for him to have a shot. Galloway leads once again. Anderson Reed in 2nd. Now Matthew Brown jumps to the inside of him. Brown does not have help, but Neal is looking to help him now, and he's down there. Austin Johnson in the 3, back up to the 5th spot, and Colton Layne now dropping to 9th. Irving Allison in the 83, just outside the top 5. A top 5 is great. Top 10 is pretty good. A win would be amazing for that team as well, but Matthew Brown now all over the back of Jake Galloway. Dusty Neal in that 97 is sitting patiently in 3rd, looking for that CFRO victory. Anderson Reed, Alex Ben Yacko, Layne. The outside line can sometimes work, but especially not when it's looking like that, and that inside line is so well put together. Mitchell Collins up here looking for a top 10. Irving Allison, Dusty Neal, Eric Monaco, a lot of drivers looking for some underdog performances today. Galloway up in front. Now Brown trying to go, but he will be the one shuffled out. By now, Austin Johnson making it 3 wide, looking for the 2nd spot and telling Galloway that he is not going to take this points lead away from him. Layne dropping back. He's on the inside, but not strong enough. Coming around, it'll be the white flag next time by. That will be the deciding factor. Neal and Johnson making contact down the back straightaway. Very close. They're almost touching on the quarter panels down the back straightaway. And Johnson's going to clear himself into second. Anderson Reed trying to force it 4 wide. Colton Layne in the 14 fighting back up. Here comes Irving Allison, but Jake Galloway leading off of turn 4, coming to the white flag. Galloway looking for that record-setting 3rd career victory in one season. But the number 3 of Austin Johnson looking to take that, as well as tying Diego Yepes's record. White flag at Talladega. Colton Layne is here as well. Mitchell Collins bouncing off of Alex Benyako further back. And those guys are fighting. But the top 3 championship contenders, 1, 2, 3 at Talladega. Does JRI work together? Layne does not. Maybe that's from Gateway. Layne abandons Austin Johnson. He has Turner and Curtis right behind him. Will they have the momentum? And Layne is going to get around Austin Johnson right here. He'll be able to get past him. But will he be able to go on and take the victory? Turner and Curtis trying to bring the momentum. Johnson might drop even further back. The championship is going to be decided at Kansas between drivers only 7 to 6 points apart. But Jake Galloway, 3rd career win and 3 in a season. Brand new record for Jake Galloway. Drivers at the back are going to just coast around, but Jake Galloway, 3rd career win, dominated right at the end, and when JRI's Colton Layne abandoned teammate Austin Johnson, instead going for 2nd instead of the win. The thing is, Layne will only be, I believe, 1 point behind Galloway heading into Kansas, so it will be decided by a position. Austin Johnson, however, finishes 5th, did not get a lap lead. That is minus 1 point already, and 5th to 1st is 8 points, meaning that Galloway is going to be 1 point behind Austin Johnson, and Colton Layne should only be 1 point behind Jake Galloway heading into Kansas. This takes out Alex Benyako, pretty much is going to be written off here. Austin Murray as well. Anderson Reed finishes 10th. That puts him back around near Alex Benyako. Championship over for him. But what a race we had today. Talladega, exciting. A crash happens with J.J. Roberts being aggressive. Austin Johnson abandoned by Colton Layne down the back straightaway. Possible payback for Gateway, though maybe it was just more looking at that point situation, knowing that he cannot lose anymore to Austin Johnson. This Kansas race is going to set up for one of the greatest title battles in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, where the point standings could be separated by just 1 or 2 on-track positions, and with 3 of those cars being some of the best in the garage area, especially Layne and Galloway being the top engine and aero, it should be a battle for the ages, and especially a battle for the win in just 2 weeks' time at the Kansas Motor Speedway. Thank you guys so much for watching the Vornado 150 at Talladega, and we'll be sure to bring you guys back here next season. Jake Galloway, his 3rd win, putting a record for 3 wins in one season in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, and tying him for 2nd all-time on the Mountain Dew Custom Series wins list, tied with championship rivals Austin Johnson and Anderson Reed. Reed and Benyako will still mathematically have a shot at the title, and as we saw last season with DJ Gibson and Tim Foster, anything can happen. Kansas just 2 weeks away. Talladega, an exciting finish, a fight to the end by Galloway, Layne, and Johnson, and possible rivalries heading in to Kansas. We just have one more race on the season to go. Thank you guys so much for watching the Vornado 150 at Talladega. We'll see you guys for the Crown Royal Truck Series race later. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.